For billions of years, the solar system has been a relatively peaceful place. But what if I told you that peace could end at any moment? From rogue stars to invisible forces, the threats to our cosmic home are more real than you think. What if the sun suddenly became a supernova? A massive explosion would destroy us instantly, down to the atomic level. But the scariest part? We wouldn't even see it coming. No shockwaves or radiation would immediately kill us, but instead, a different phenomenon. While you're still alive, your body would be cooked from the inside without any awareness. Supernovae can be classified into two main types, Type I and Type II. Type I occurs when a white dwarf star devours its companion star, resulting in a catastrophic explosion. Our sun, although incapable of becoming this type, will eventually become a white dwarf in about 7 billion years. This means the sun will not explode in the same manner as other large stars. On the other hand, Type II supernovae happen when massive stars with a minimum mass of 8 times that of the sun undergo a self-collapse. This is the dangerous scenario for massive stars, and it happens in a very short time, only a few million years. For over 4 billion years, the sun has been undergoing nuclear fusion, converting hydrogen into helium in its core. However, as the hydrogen in the core depletes, the pressure from photons will decrease, and gravitational forces will begin to compress the core. However, as the core contracts, temperature and pressure rise, enabling the star to continue fusing helium into carbon, oxygen, and heavier elements. When the sun reaches the carbon fusion stage, it won't have enough mass to continue the process, marking the end of its nuclear fusion cycle. However, in the scenario of a star 8 times heavier, nuclear fusion would occur much faster, creating heavy elements in just a few million years. When a star is massive enough, its core will continue to collapse until it becomes an incredibly dense mass, almost unimaginable. At this point, electrons are squeezed into protons, transforming them into neutrons. This process produces neutrinos, extremely light particles that are almost impossible to capture. However, when neutron degeneracy pressure can no longer prevent further collapse, the star's core becomes a small, dense ball, about 20 kilometers in diameter. At this point, a catastrophic event occurs. Shockwaves from this process will push the star's outer layers into space, creating a supernova explosion. This is the cause of the intense light we see from afar, while the outer matter is scorched in a violent explosion. When a supernova occurs, It releases an enormous amount of energy, enough to blow away the atmosphere and oceans on the planet's surface. Electromagnetic radiation, including visible light, X-rays, and gamma rays, will light up the entire universe. The impact is not just light, but also the release of neutrinos, particles that can pass through all matter. However, this isn't the immediate end for life. Although this scenario is terrifying, it remains purely hypothetical. Our sun will never explode into a supernova, as it lacks the necessary mass. However, understanding such events helps us learn more about the universe and our own existence. Let's continue exploring the fascinating and unimaginable possibilities that the universe holds. All right, enough scaring everyone. Let's remind ourselves this is just a fictional scenario. The sun will never become a supernova. The closest star to Earth that could actually go supernova is IK Pegasi b, a white dwarf located about 150 light years away. Sounds kind of scary, right? But don't worry. According to scientists, a supernova would only pose a real threat if it occurred within 30 light years of Earth. So IK Pegasi b is 5 times farther than that safe limit. So, what do you think? Do you agree with this scenario, or do you have your own end-of-the-world idea? Leave a comment down below. As always, if you enjoyed this video, like and share to support the channel. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you won't miss more creative doomsday theories in the future. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.